Hey Charmed fam, if you are watching this video right now as I post it, I'm actually not doing a live stream. I'm getting married. We were talking about hopefully I could get a screener to this premiere and I was able to, so I am pre-recording this video. We are talking about the premiere season 4 episode 1 of Charmed. Of course, we know things are very different going into this season. We have a new Charmed one joining the crew, and let's just break down this episode. First of all, I think they did a really great job with this one of setting the stage for what to expect and introducing us to this new character of Kayla. She is an artist, she's a mechanic. She actually had cancer at one point and has been 5 years in remission. She lives on this like bus. I think she's kind of living that cool artistic van life. And she has this best friend named Bryn, and they live in Philadelphia. But 6 months prior, which was when Macy died, Kayla started having these strange dreams of places and people that she'd never met before, and it turned out it was the Charmed ones. It was their command center, their house, things like that. And she's very artistic. We get to see all of that through her sketchbooks. And at the same time, while we're learning about this new character, we're also seeing where everyone else is at this point.
This isn't working. Believe me. I know.
Starting with Maggie, she and Jordan have become sort of like a little Batman and Robin duo. They are going off and fighting demons to kind of deal with the grief. And I think Jordan is really more there for Maggie to support her.
I'm gonna be here for you, Maggie.
But it's great to finally see that in that 6-month break, they finally became a couple. I'm really excited to see where the relationship goes. I think they did a really great job with these two overall over the course of the last few seasons of bringing their relationship together in a really realistic way where you're not like, oh gosh, another love interest. It's like, no, we've built this. It's taken some time. And now here they are together at last. We also learn a little bit about Jordan's abilities. He definitely has healing powers, white lighter-esque abilities. I don't know if he has all of them or just some of them.
I'm not a white lighter exactly. Honestly not sure what I am.
And it looks like he's leaning towards Harry as a mentor in a way, and he's really become part of the team even more. And then Harry is struggling after Macy's death. It seems like he's gotten a little bit gruffer, a little bit of Dark Harry vibes maybe going on a bit.
Unless you want to die an excruciating death. Start talking.
And clearly still feeling that missing piece with Macy. We see him write letters to her and burn them as a way to sort of send them off to her in the afterlife. And it's interesting, some of the things he even writes in there, because he mentions something about trying to bring her back. Like, is there a way to bring her back? In the past, when a Charmed one has left between season 3 and 4, we never saw them again. But they are showing us some hints of Macy, photos of her, and moments of them together. Maybe down the line, there could be something interesting going on there where maybe we do get a cameo. Who knows? And then with Mel, she has kind of gone the opposite way of Maggie, and instead of diving deeper into demon fighting, she is diving more into the romance department, hooking up with different magical women from this new club that has been introduced called the Blue Camellia. It's a magical place where, just different people can meet up, have some drinks. So that's sort of where everyone is now, clearly trying to deal with their grief in their own ways versus coming together. And at the very beginning of this episode, we even see Maggie being like, this is not working. I kind of think I want to get my own apartment. I don't even want to be here anymore. And it's really this introduction of this new Charmed one that starts to sort of like fix that a little bit. While everyone's kind of struggling with all of this, Josefina is still around helping out. And they introduce that she's going to be going to this pixie fledgling ceremony where a pixie's going to get her wings. And I loved this reference because we got to go back to a character that we met in season 1, Chloe the Pixie, who had that whole kind of manic pixie dream girl episode. It was really great to just see that throwback to that first season, and it gave me hope that we're gonna see more things like that and kind of connect those seasons. There's some kind of like fate type things that go on in this episode that make me question if maybe Macy's kind of spirit is there guiding them a little bit, but the Charmed ones end up getting sent to Philadelphia where they meet Kayla, and the minute they touch, there's this like lightning bolt. And that's exactly what happened when we first met Macy with the sisters. And you could just see in this episode, there are some really nice parallels to what's going on here and that very, very first episode from season 1. We end up learning that Kayla has some sort of manifestation type of power that's connected to her artistry. And so we see a couple of moments here in this first episode where things that she's drawn come to life and create a portal or create an apple that then turns Josefina into a paper doll.
We think you might be one of the most important witches alive.
It doesn't make sense.
You might be the third charmed one.
This random person, seemingly unconnected to either of you, and she's the one who's supposed to replace Macy?
And while Kayla at first is like, what is going on? This is insane.
This is a cult, isn't it?
They all end up working together to fix everything, and we learn that Kayla really is this third charmed one that they've been looking for. We learn that Kayla is short for Michaela, which we all had guessed already in my last video, so kudos to us. We also get some background on her, like that she doesn't know who her real parents are. She was adopted. She was actually left at a fire station when she was a baby. And so there's a lot of different origins to where she could have come from. And we even see Mel question, like, do we have another mysterious hidden sister that we didn't know about? And I'm really curious to see where this goes, because we're not going to learn next episode who Kayla really is. You know, we're not going to learn in the next episode who the big bad of this season is. It's going a little bit slower in pace, which I enjoy because I think it gives us time to really build that in a more realistic way. And speaking of big bad, we are introduced to a new big bad this episode that looks like it's going to be the villain for the overarching season. And it's a villain called the Tally Man. And I'm really excited about this one because it's giving me like Halloween Town Calabar vibes. The concept basically is that there are some good magical creatures who have somehow come into possession of this coin that sort of turns them either bad or gives them some kind of negative quality. The first one is like this little puffy ball creature that is supposed to be very nice, and it ends up biting Jordan, and he's like, well, why was it kind of acting out of its nature? And then the second time is when Jordan ends up going to this pixie event and he's hanging out with Chloe. Her sister is supposed to be getting her wings, and she puts the coin that she gets into this, you know, dream box. And instead of getting her pixie wings, she gets these like kind of demonic looking dragon wings, you know, so things are kind of twisting on their heads. And the reason it reminds me of Calabar from Halloween Town is because he was doing something that would turn like good monsters into something more horrific and evil. And I wonder if that's kind of what's going on here. And Tallyman just makes me think like, okay, there's a number, like maybe the Tallyman is trying to hit a certain number of turning these good creatures bad, and maybe it will be developing some sort of power or ability that will make it more powerful when it comes against the charmed ones. It kind of made me think about how in the original series, the charmed ones were helping innocents that were human, and now maybe they're sort of doing the opposite here in this fourth season, where maybe they're helping innocents who are magical beings. I like that concept, especially if we get to see different magical creatures each week, and the fact that they're building up this tally man, you know, they're sort of teasing that something big is coming, but is Kayla on board to do this?
This life of yours with a threat around every corner, don't want it.
And I think based off the fact that she leaves the sisters this note, makes it seem like maybe she's not. And what do you do in that situation? Like, she has a life in Philadelphia, and what if she doesn't want to be a part of all of this? Then what are they supposed to do? But I do like that the fact that they finally found her is giving Maggie and Mel hope and their renewed energy to kind of keep going, even though they're still grieving and struggling in their own ways. Overall, I really enjoyed this first episode. We got to learn a lot about Kayla. We got to see where everyone's at. And I think they did a good job of just slowly sort of introducing these things and also bringing us back to those roots of that first season with characters like Chloe the Pixie and stuff like that. But in a way that feels like it's going to be bigger and expand the world even more. I'm feeling optimistic. I am hoping that we're just going to continue to dive deeper and deeper and maybe have this really big bad that we're going to get to at the end of this season. And who knows, maybe it'll even have some kind of connection to who Kayla really is. I like that we can sort of do that monster of the week, but also have that overarching story while also diving into maybe the past and the history of the charmed ones and their family, because we need to know where does Kayla even come from? So I cannot wait for you guys to see the next episode, which I will admit I did get a chance to see already. I got to see the first 2 episodes and also join the roundtable discussion with Sarah Jeffrey and Melanie Diaz, and they shared a lot of really cool insight on this season that I'm excited to share with you guys. I would love to know your thoughts on this episode, on the new direction. What are you thinking? How are you liking the new Charmed one? Let me know your thoughts. Make sure to leave a comment down below and let me know. And I will be back with my live stream so we can all talk together very, very soon. Consider subscribing if you like my videos, and if you want to talk more TV and movies with me outside of the comments section, check out the exclusive Discord available on my Patreon at patreon.com/kmaldo. If you like this one, you can check out more of my videos right over here. See ya!